Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and I'm taking care of business. Joining me today is Riaz Mamdani, who is founder and CEO of the Strategic Group. Thanks for joining us today, Riaz.
It's a real pleasure to be here with you.
Well, Riaz, we often talk, you and I, about real estate in the city and the country, but different topic today that you and I are talking about, and it's regarding an organization called DroneAid Ukraine. And your involvement in that. Tell me just a little bit, first of all, of what your involvement is as voluntary chair of this group, volunteer chair of this group, and what the group's all about.
Yeah. It's a concept that I was responsible for putting together early on, 5 or 6 weeks ago, as the current situation in Ukraine was unfolding. To watch the news, to read the newspapers, to see the horror, the devastation, the helplessness that we were able to see so well was upsetting. It made me want to do something. It made me want to figure out how it is that I could help. I contributed to a variety of aid agencies, to charities, some direct GoFundMe campaigns. I wanted to do more. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to have an impact that wouldn't otherwise have been felt but for me, and came up with the concept of being able to utilize the drone technology in situations, in humanitarian situations like Ukraine, and was able to implement and orchestrate a group of people that were able to put all of that together. And over the next 24 hours, we're going to have drones that are up and going and saving lives in the Ukraine.
And what will these drones be taking to the Ukraine?
There are basically 3 different types of missions that these drones can be used for. They can be used for situational assessment that just tells people what it is that's going on, where people who are hurt might be, what the condition is of roads or infrastructure, so you can provide aid or assistance. Then there's the search and rescue. These are drones that have the capability of audio, video, infrared sensing, chemical sensing, that have the technology to locate survivors, to locate people, understand where people are, and be able to get assistance directed into those areas. Then there's the 3rd type of drone, and that's the medical delivery drone. This carries a payload of 35 to 45 pounds, depending on the model. Carries a payload that can be refrigerated, or a proper refrigerated payload that allows us to deliver life-saving supplies like insulin and antibiotics that you couldn't get delivered in a place like Ukraine without the risk of lives. And I tell people we've developed a mechanism or a process to be able to save lives without risking lives. And that's the beauty of what the drone technology allows us to do.
And who are you partnering with on this, Riaz?
A company called Dragonfly, which had original roots in Calgary, a company that I was involved in taking public almost a dozen years ago, a company that now trades on the NASDAQ national market. That, along with an organization called Retired Soldiers Ukraine, run by a passionate, dedicated group of people that have been providing assistance to people in the Ukraine since 2016. They've got the infrastructure to utilize our drones to be saving lives immediately.
Okay, super then. Now I understand, Riaz, there's a fundraising campaign going on right now?
That's correct. Revived Soldiers Ukraine, or RSU, needs up to 200 drones They were able to allocate resources for 10 drones. Dragonfly donated 3 drones. And I've been able to donate 5 drones that will arrive in the Ukraine imminently.
Oh, okay.
We're raising money for the balance of the drones over time.
Okay, how can people donate?
DroneAid.co is the website. We're a Canadian charity, a US charity that has absolutely no administration costs. We have grants for things like credit card fees and admin people. 100 cents of every dollar goes directly to providing aid and saving lives.
Mm-hmm. You know, you mentioned, I just want to come back to the beginning, Riaz, you know, you mentioned how this has impacted you as, you know, watching stuff on TV and, you know, same thing with a lot of people. You know, what would you ask of people right now in terms of help? You know, how can people help?
There's, I think, a variety of ways. We can support existing charities. You can support organizations like DroneAid. You can be part of a drive, a fundraising for whatever it is that intrigues you, that interests you, that means something to you. The devastation is so great. The need is so great. Every little bit anyone can do would be very, very useful.
All right, super. Well, thank you very much, Riaz, for taking the time to do this today.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
All right, super. That's Riaz Mamdani, who is founder and CEO of the Strategic Group. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, taking care of business. Thanks for joining us today.